Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to Market Misfits. So checking out Twitter here, just looking for some content and figure this would be a good place to start right here. Get up. So a lot of people still, the sentiment for XRP, a lot of people still pissed. A lot of people are seeing these or, interested in these crazy price predictions. And that's all great and everything, but really considering that all this stuff is in the media, things like this, I think, need to be prepared for just as much or even more for the downside. Because again, if we are going to see something as high as 4,000%, 5,000%, 100,000%, and you could, you know, pretty much bet on seeing some manipulation there. We're going to be taking a look at Bitcoin. We're also going to be taking a look at XRP. But let's take a look at the coin market cap data real fast. So we are still over here at 70 and still in the green for the fear and greed index. Now, yesterday we saw Bitcoin at the support actually went down to 50,000. So we are up on the day, we are up on the week, and we are up on the hour. So we're going to be taking a closer look at that chart here in just a little bit. XRP, we're down on the 7 days, so we're down on the week. We're up on the 24 hours, and the XRP chart is starting to look pretty interesting. Excuse me. So we're definitely going to be taking a look at that too. But let's check out this article real fast, and then we'll get into the chart some more. South Korea embraces XRP, making it the second most held asset on BitThumb. So this is in Korea. So this is pretty impressive. XRP is now the second most widely held cryptocurrency among users on the prominent Korean exchange BitThumb, only behind Bitcoin. So it's outranking all the other cryptos. Is pretty impressive. Bulma, a data analyst at South Korea-based consulting firm Dspread, disclosed the metric with a spreadsheet shared on X. Data from the spreadsheet shows that Bitcoin is the most widely held crypto asset with up to 1.45 million BitThumb users holding the token. So it's not far behind Bitcoin at all. So if you take a look at the numbers right here, we're only 7 million away from Bitcoin. So, and under that, we have Ethereum, EOS, Ethereum Classic. So, meanwhile, XRP is a close second, boasting a whopping 1.38 million holders from BitThumb. Interestingly, this indicates that Bitcoin only has 70,000 more holders than XRP. 70,000, that seems like that's a bit off there, but maybe my math is off. Holders in XRP, which has continued to command massive daily trade volumes on Korean exchanges such as BitThumb. So this says 1.45 million. This says 1.38 million. So someone correct me if I'm wrong, but this is 7 million. I've seen typos on here several times, but I don't know if this is one of them. This just doesn't seem to add up. But in any case, this is a close match right here for the throne in Korea for the cryptocurrencies, Bitcoin versus XRP coming up behind. So, excuse me, XRP towers over other rival assets, including Ethereum, the second largest cryptocurrency by market cap, despite recently pushing above the 3,000 mark on the latest market resurgence. Ethereum does not have up to 1 million holders on BitThumb. Data reveals that the number of BitThumb users holding Ethereum currently stands at 742,000, making ETH the third most widely held token. Other notable assets among the 15 coins include Bitcoin Cash. We're actually holding a position on this currently with 506,000 holders. Tron posting 439,000. Cardano at 198,000. BitThumb remains the second largest cryptocurrency exchange in Korea by trade volume, trailing only by Upbit. The interest in XRP among its users reflects the impressive demand from the broader South Korean investor community. Per Keiko, BitThumb recently saw its dominance spike to an all-time high of 72% amid an influx of users. So BitThumb makes share of volume relative to its main rival, Upbit, briefly hit an all-time high of 72% in the early February amid surging Bitcoin trading. So here you can see a dip, and then we see this surge right here. So this is like a V-shaped recovery on this. However, despite being the second most widely held crypto asset, XRP is only 7th among the tokens and with the largest trade volume on BitThumb over the past 24 hours. So overall, it's number 2, but currently on the 24 hours on this day, the day that this was made, it was not. So the asset currently sees a volume of 43.2 million, representing 3.54% of all volume on the exchange. So here we are down here at number 7. So this kind of looks like it's backwards, but again, this is going off of the day. XRP, a favorite among Koreans. XRP's ability to command up to 1.3 million holders on BitThumb underscores the increasing interest in the token, especially among South Korean investors who have recently shown a particular affinity for the crypto asset. Last August, a study found that XRP was the preferred asset among South Korean investors in their 20s, with the most use opting for the token over Bitcoin and Ethereum. Moreover, Keiko revealed in April 2023 that XRP was the top traded altcoin in Korea, commanding over 3 times the volume of its closest rival. As the Crypto Basic reported, XRP also surpassed Bitcoin in trade volume on Korea's top exchange last March. Interestingly, a Mizrahi report from 3 years ago showed that the interest in XRP is not a recent development, as Korean investors showed a preference for XRP over ETH in 2021. So this is an ongoing trend, and just like all trends, there's dips and there's highs and there's lows. So I think what they're saying here overall is that XRP is ranking number 2, just under Bitcoin. So, and this is on the macro scale, but on the in-betweens, we're gonna find ups and downs, up days, down days, up years, down years, but overall what they're saying is it's ranking, despite the ups and downs overall, that it is number 2. So that's very impressive. So let's take a look at Bitcoin. So we dropped this in the group, and again, we went over this yesterday on the call. So we actually shrunk down this fair value gap pretty decent. We did close on the 4-hour back into the channel. Was looking for a retest to come back and hit this support right here, but as of now, we have not got it, and actually seeing volume go down. So we're seeing a little bit of divergence between volume and momentum here. So just wanted to point that out real fast. Let's go to the 1-hour time frame. So was looking at this previously and was not expecting, but thinking there's a higher probability that when we hit this resistance right here, that we would go down because of this rising channel right here. So you can see this consolidation going up, and typically this type of consolidation tends to break down. Now, if we would have broken down, and we still could, and even come down here, and retest with us at the wait and see what happens, we'll be looking for some divergence to show up. But our descending broadening cone that we went over yesterday, this is not as familiar, this is not as popular as the regular flags, bullish pennants and whatnot. This is a pattern that honestly just started seeing this about 8 months ago, and had to look it up because I was seeing it all over the place. And so this is actually a price action pattern, and they play out the same way that wedges do. They're just reversed. So instead of the sharper end being over here, it's over here where it's smaller and it gets bigger. So I'm thinking that this is to continuously wipe out liquidity, because it's constantly taking out highs and lows. So something that we realized yesterday, we weren't at the desk, but we dropped it in the group. By the way, if you're not in the group Market Misfits, come over to Market Misfits. This is totally free. We have training, we have analysis, and we drop news and more analysis signals in here daily. We just dropped this on quant. None of this is financial advice. We're just sharing. Here's a little, my little kindergarten scratch here. Sometimes we're away from the desk and take a look and see something, and so this is what we get. But H bar is looking bullish. So come on over to Market Misfits. Don't forget to check out the guides in the files section. Again, none of this is financial advice. Let's go back to Bitcoin on the hour. So again, this pattern right here going into the 50.5, so 50,500 support. This tends to be bullish, so a bearish reversal. And just like this tends to break down, doesn't mean that it always happens, because we actually just broke up right here. So just taking this 1 hour at a time today, and we're going to see what happens. Main thing I'm looking for really right now. So if, say, this yellow scenario plays out for Bitcoin, to sweep out this liquidity. So for people shorting right here, there's liquidity up here. So one thing that I could see happening would be to see this play out like this and come up here, and maybe even take out this liquidity that's up here at around 52,547. I'm still thinking there's a good chance that we are going to come down on Bitcoin, but there's also a pretty decent chance now that because we kind of got this fake out down here. I know a lot of people were really bearish right here as we broke this support, but we came back in, and now we're going up from another pattern that typically breaks down. So there's no telling what's going to happen next. We cannot predict what happens in the market. We can only plan for what could happen and then execute. Let's take a look at XRP versus Bitcoin chart. So again, we're down here near this daily and weekly supporting trend down here. We actually just dropped this in the group. So what we're seeing here is we did get a break in the neckline. I'll go ahead and call it a neckline. A lot of times whenever you see a neckline, you can tell if it's the right way to draw it. Now, we use candle bodies to go across the points, and this just makes more sense than, say, because previously we had it we were on the road and I saw it, and so put it up and just had a straight line across. But this is not 100% accurate how you do this. So whatever makes more sense, you need to do that. So what we're looking for are candle bodies, to connect the candle bodies, and for it just to make sense. I mean, how does this make sense? It makes sense that we came down here and that we stopped twice, came through, stopped, and we get sharp reactions from this. So here we are right here at the neckline near the daily supporting trend of this channel, and we have another little channel right here. So what we'll be looking for next is a bullish breakout off of this red line, the neckline, to take us up to the center channel. But of course, it's more than likely this is not going to play out like this. As we were talking earlier, the market has ups and downs, so we don't ever actually know how it's going to play out. So whenever we do stuff like this and draw these lines of any kind, whether they're scribble kindergarten marks or if they're lines right like this, this is just an idea. Generally what we're thinking is, if we're wanting to see this neckline right here hold, because if it breaks and goes down, then retests and comes back down here, and we actually get to the supporting trend, or maybe we even breach it and come down here to 50999 and start to see something form here, then it is what it is. We look at stuff like this so that we can be prepared. Trading, investing takes a lot of foresight, to see things develop before they happen. Not a lot of the times do we get this right on point, but in general, more times than not, we do get it does play out in the way that we were thinking it could, not in any way thinking that we were right or wrong if this does not play out, or if it does play out, because the truth is we don't have any idea, and nobody else in the world does either, except for the people that move the market. So if you're not a person that moves the market, you could know someone that moves the market and they could tell you, but other than that, nobody else knows. It doesn't matter how many indicators you stack up. So what we're looking for is a more than likely scenario. So a more than likely scenario is that we go to this center trend. Let's go out to the daily and take a look at that. So here we are on the daily time frame, and you can see our arrows here. We left these arrows up just so you kind of get some perspective if you're new. So this is the same chart. We just zoomed way out. And so now instead of these candles taking 1 hour, they're taking a whole day to form. So this helps cut out some of the clutter. And also this allows us to zoom out and take a look at the broader picture, because that's what tends to dictate more what we can expect. But so, we covered this yesterday, so I want to touch on it again. If you're new, we've come down to this trend several times. I'm counting this wick right here, definitely as one of those times. And right here, we're also looking at the center trend for the center of this channel, because you see how this road like this right here, when it comes to drawing trends and zones, what we're looking for is for the majority, like where are the majority of touches and turnaways. So like right here, this didn't exactly turn away the market right here or have much of an impact, but it did ride it right here. And so when we were coming down right here, it did stop it. Okay, so that's generally what we were looking at. When we came down here, it held, went slightly past it here, that's fine. It held all across here, all through here. You can even see the angle on this. This was a triangle at one point down here and just happened to break up. So we had a strong rejection point off of this, and then we had another strong rejection point. We slightly breached it here, and we got a daily bullish engulfing. And now let's zoom in a little closer, and you can see that triple bottoms right here is just these 3 candles. So these 3 daily candles. Let's go back out to the hour real fast. So here we are on the 1 hour again. So once again, these are the same arrows. We just zoomed in on those daily candles. So these are the 3 wicks that are showing on the daily. Again, we have not made it to all the way to the supporting trend, but this is a general area. It's not 100% tick for tack. So, you got to keep that in mind too. Also, you have to keep developments in mind. Yesterday, we went over the ETP in Sweden. That's a huge deal. And then also today, what's happening, in South Korea as XRP is battling for #1. So as we're going through the micro and macro economics, if you say, of this project and the overall market trends versus Bitcoin, you could say that there's a good possibility that XRP could be lining up to or positioning itself to make another move against Bitcoin. So previously when we saw this, we were down here at the trend and we saw a pretty impressive climb right here. So we got in actually XRP right here, and we made a 6% rise against Bitcoin. So yesterday we saw this develop down here at this wick. And so we've already come up nearly 4% right here. But to the center trend, let's say we go over here and it takes us a little while, 8 days, say it takes us 8 days to go up, then this would be another 7% move against Bitcoin. Let's go back out to the daily. So let's look at the daily again real quick, because there have been several times like we rode this trend right here after when this trend first started, this channel first started. So we were down here and it went all the way to the other side. So there's also that possibility too. So from the time that it breached, we'll just go from here to the time that it reached the top of the trend over here, we're looking at 43 days. Okay. Then right here, we're looking at 12 days. And so what is it going to take here? So we have 23 and 12 to reach the other side of the trend. So it could be anywhere there in between, more or less. But, generally, we're seeing things react. We're seeing price action react in this area and confirm this trend again, the supporting trend again in this area. We're seeing it on the daily and we're seeing it on all time frames. So that's why we have an alert right here at the center of the channel. Because if it gets here, we want to know, because we want to take a look at our positions and see what's happening right there. Let's take a closer look at XRP. So here we are on the daily on XRP. So this is the actual XRP versus the US dollar chart. We are going, looks like we're coming up to hit this resistance trend on the daily. What we're looking for here would be a break right here. So a break on the daily, and we want to clear this point right here. We would want to clear this mark right here at around 56.5 cents. So what would take us out of the channel and past this resistance point right here, these resistance points? So we follow the cursor, the crosshairs over, we can see that we have pretty good, pretty solid resistance along this area right here. So what would take us past this? Let's take a look real fast. So to get past all these, and then also this one, to go ahead and clear this one to say we're past these immediate resistance points. This is a big one right here. So it's this general area, right? So if we pull a zone out to get a better idea of, okay, when we'll be clear of these resistance, we would need to come up to 60 cents. So a break into 60 cents, 61 cents on the daily would do the trick. That would break us out of this triangle. So we are flat on the bottom here. You know, we've been kind of in an uptrend. It's been more of a consolidation. We actually violated the resistance trend down here. And that trend is right here. And again, just trying to make this make as much sense as we can. You know, it could take some practice to get this right, you know, and there's a lot of controversy over, you know, how do you draw your trends? What's the right and wrong way to draw your trends? Some people will only use the wicks and go off wicks, you know, the furthest points. Some people only do candle bodies. We just use a combination of both. So we want to get the most touches, and we want to ride the candle bodies the best that we can personally. This is just our personal preference, because by riding the candle bodies, if we get a candle that sets past the candle body, or if we get a candle that sets past the trend and we get a body past the trend, then we can more definitively say that that was a break. Now, on the other side of things, and this is just the way we see it, you know, whatever you do, however you do it, it's just important just to be consistent in that. So if you want to be consistent, then if you want to be consistent, you have to be consistent. So just like this right here, this is one of the reasons why we don't call this a break. Not on this time frame anyways. It might have been a break on the 1 hour. It's because it went up and the price didn't hold. So for this time frame, we still have not broken out of this. In fact, we are still under 2 resistance trends. And so until we pop up out of here, you know, then you're not going to be as bullish, because we could also come down and create another low down here, just like this. So we could also see something like this happen over here. So we're going to take this history, and we even have our little spring. You see this little spring right here. So we're going to try to line this up just like this. So there is a chance that we could come back down, get turned away at this intersection. So we are at a resistance zone. We're at the intersection of 2 resistance trends. And just as far as technical analysis goes, these are the most dominant indicators that there are. You combine a resistance zone on the daily with 2 daily resistance trends, and you put all those together, those things add up into major resistance. Now, not in any way saying that we can't break through this or we're not going to break through this, but just realistically looking at this, you know, and looking at history, we could come back down to 49. We could come back down and clear these lows down to 48. You know, it's going to be hard to tell. Like I said, Bitcoin and XRP are kind of looking like they're battling for dominance in some areas. And it's definitely looking that way on the XRP versus Bitcoin chart. So we're seeing it here on the XRP chart that we could be facing some resistance. You know, what's going to happen next, only time will tell. We're keeping everyone up to date the best that we can in here. So come over here and join us at Market Misfits. It's absolutely free. You can find us on Facebook. Just go to the search bar, type in Market Misfits Academy, and you see us right here. We're the odd bunch. So come over and join us. And we do again. And when you do, come and check out the guides and files section. And if you have any questions or comments, then just drop a comment, send a message, and we will see y'all on the next one. See ya.